UGI, and the Institute of Continuing Education. All other protocols observed, good afternoon. I welcome you to this afternoon session. But before I start, let me pay homage to the previous sessions that took place before now. Despite our previous presenters being from different backgrounds and discussing different things, I think our main takeaways were that innovation is happening, and it is happening right now. Technology and its adoption is progressing at a rate that nobody could even begin to imagine. And as Dr. Nangoli from the previous session stated, the world rewards those who take part in science and innovation and punishes those who do not. However, the innovations we are talking about today cannot thrive in isolation. As the guest of honor mentioned, and as echoed by Associate Professor Fides Mbale, innovation needs ecosystems. Outside the researchers and the scientists and the academics, innovation needs the right foundations, the right infrastructure, and the right investment. And that is why our partners in the commercial sector are at the forefront of creating a research-inducive space. They are not only adapting to the new technologies, they are actively shaping the space in which these innovations take root and grow. This afternoon, we have the privilege of hearing directly from some of them. So without further ado, let me welcome our first speaker this afternoon, the Account Relationship Manager at FDH Financial Holdings, Madam Tamara Mbewe. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols observed. As she alluded, my name is Tamara Mbewe. I am the Relationship Manager for FDH, and I will be talking to you about our FDH investment loan. So this is a new and innovative way that we've come up with to be able to give access to our clients and potential clients to access credit facilities. So I know you're asking yourself that what is this little boy eating sugarcane got to do with investment or innovation? I'm going to start with asking you a question. How do you eat your sugarcane? Or what do you do with sugarcane? The link with investment here is the norm that we know, sugarcane. This is how we eat it. When we've sucked out the juice, we throw it away. Or any other thing that we know that we can use sugarcane for is sugar as a byproduct. But there's a lot of things that we can do with sugarcane. That's the very same thing with investment. Typically, as Malawians, our normal investment is, they tell us we should buy land, we should buy property as our assets that can bring us wealth and the like. But at FDH, we're saying we are sitting on stocks, treasury notes, which are government securities, treasury bills, that can create more worth for us, that can create a base for expanding our businesses as entrepreneurs. So at the end of this presentation, I'm sure you will then link to say this sugarcane analogy and what I have for you and what you can do, how can you link them all, etc. FDH Bank, we've come up with the investment facility. Basically, we're saying we want you to be able to grow and expand as a startup or as an existing business. So as students, I know when you graduate, a lot of us don't want to just go straight into the corporate world and say they must hire us. We would want to start our own thing, but how do we do this? I'm hoping that by the end of this whole week, to say this is the route that I'm going to take. So, FDH investment loan. We are saying we want you to look at other types of investments, not just landed property, not just a fleet of cars to have a car hire. So we're introducing this facility for you to get a loan that is covered by your existing assets, securities that are traded by the government. That's treasury notes, treasury bills, and stocks. That's why you're seeing Malawi Stock Exchange over there. What can you do with this money? Add to the shares that you have. You want to add to the treasury bills, you can do that. You want to take that cash and pump it into a business that you want to start or a business that's already there, you can do that. For lecturers and other guests here, you want to upgrade your lifestyle, you can get that facility and buy a new vehicle. And you can also then just literally do anything and everything you want with that amount of money. The features to this facility, we're saying you can get up to 500 million as an individual. Remember, this will be backed by your existing assets, which are shares or government securities. You will not have that hassle that says, oh, I don't have a house. How can I access a facility at FDH? This is where this is coming in. The pricing, 29% per annum as our interest. And if you shop around to find out that we are the most competitive on the market, our arrangement fee is 1.5%, which is collected upfront. And the repayment period for this facility is 36 months. That's 3 years. But you're at a place where you can say, I don't want to pay on a monthly basis because maybe my inflows come in quarterly. That's acceptable. Maybe my inflows come in biannually. That is also acceptable. So we want you to have a convenience of saying, if I'm using securities such as shares, or if I'm using treasury notes, I can be able to use dividends that I'll receive from these shares as part of my repayment source. And those come in twice a year at most. So that's why we're saying your repayment is going to be flexible. For a student, I bet you're asking yourself, but how can I be able to access this? The reason why we've presented this here is because now is the time for you to actually think of other types of investments other than kugagula manyumba, other than no that way maybe I can be the next SS rent a car. As an entrepreneur to be, this is a time for you to actually start building up your portfolio. This is a time for you to start growing as an investor, because you can go to any stockbroker, say Seda Capital, Continental Capital, and just go and buy one share for whatever counter that you want. So today you can go and buy shares, say under FDH, just 2 shares. Tomorrow you go and get more shares. By the time you'll be leaving school, by the time you're graduating, you have come up with a portfolio that will then be the backup for you to get this facility and to invest it in your business. I've seen so many stands out there with so many innovative ideas, but I know that the minute that we leave school, it's difficult to actually be able to find a huge amount of money to set up a business. So this can be something that you can use. You can be able to just start your portfolio, building it slowly and slowly. I know there'll be so many other questions that you'd want to ask me, but I was given limited time. We have a stand outside where you can come and ask us a couple of questions. We'll address any queries or any information gap that they may be. But now when we go back to that little boy, I'm telling you that how to eat sugarcane or how to enjoy sugarcane is not only this way. The same way you should have a mindset that having an investment is not only buying land, buying property, and how to grow your investment is not only through the assets that we know as the norm. Let's break the boundaries, let's do something, and let's be innovative. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Another round of applause for Mrs. Mbewe. Here at MUBAS, we're always saying that we are trying to create entrepreneurs, isn't it? Yes. So, one thing about entrepreneurship is that it always needs investment, it always needs capital. You cannot talk about entrepreneurship if you're not going to talk about innovation. And let's give it another hand to FDH for making us think outside the norm, making us looking at investments in different ways. Next to the podium, may I call Mr. Mcdonald Chibwe. He is the COO of UGI. I was telling him over lunch that I insure with UGI, so I'm looking forward to his presentation. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Let me acknowledge the high table and also the organizing team, even the institution, for allowing us UGI to be part of this great event. We are part of the sponsors, but my role this afternoon is just to give you a very brief presentation to do with the UGI, and also I want to provoke your thinking in terms of who we are, the opportunities that are there for you as the researchers, as youngsters that you can tap in terms of working with us as a company. I want just to start giving you some information regarding the current status of accidents in our roads according to the Malawi police. First of all, between January and June, there were about 1,894 accidents on our roads. That is quite serious. And in terms of fatal accidents, there was an increase about 10%, moving from 373 fatal accidents to 411 within the same period of time. In terms of fatalities, death, it's also quite serious. There was a small decrease. 2024, there were about 465 deaths. In this year, about 464 deaths. And the most affected areas is the central region and is the southern region, the west part. In terms of the causes, the major cause of it is overspeeding, drink and drive, fatigue, and also the unforgiveness of our roads. You know, in other countries, the roads are very forgiving. What I mean is, if you do a slight mistake, you can escape. But in our country, because the shoulders are not in good shape, you find that a small mistake can result into death. So that has been exacerbating the situation in terms of the fatalities. Now, as UGI, we've had a lot of innovation. One of our tenets is to be leaders in terms of innovation, and we take it very seriously. We invest a lot in terms of research. We work in collaboration with the big institutions like Auto Insurance, Discovery in South Africa. We have done a lot of research in terms of how we can address some of these problems, especially the problem of fatal accidents. As I mentioned, the major cause of it is overspeeding. So we have got a solution that we use telematics. Some of you understand this. It's a kind of model that we use GPS tracking system to measure the proxies like speeding, braking, time of driving, especially just to assess the driver's behavior. So with that, you get scores as a driver. So driver A and driver B and driver C, they can have different kind of ratings. So what it means is that if I overspeed, maybe I am applying harsh brakes, and normally I drive at night. The risk is different from someone that just drives to ferry kids, and is just commuting within town. The speed is moderate, and it drives during the day. So by the end of the day, the pricing also has to be different. So these type of solutions, normally they are offered by international players, not local people. But you as the students, even people that are taking innovation very seriously, you can come up with these programs, these solutions that we as a company, we can be locally sourcing instead of engaging companies from South Africa, even other players from abroad. I think it's high time that, according to my colleague that was even presenting here about shares from FDH, it's high time that you must start thinking seriously of creating opportunities, creating your own space where you're going to operate. I'll give you another example. In insurance, we do a lot with the home insurance, which we cover things like fire and the other instances. We are now talking about Internet of Things that can be harnessed by artificial intelligence. This is one of the ways that you can create an app, a program that you can be using, where I'm here, I can switch on the lights at home, I can switch on the, if I've forgotten to switch off the cooker, I can do using Internet of Things, using applications. These are the solutions that you should be thinking seriously about. You would be the next Spark, you could be the next Sky Energy, you could be the next biggest player in terms of creating solutions to the financial sector, to our industry. So, as a company, UGI, we are part of a big group, press group. We belong to National Bank. They are our shareholders. And where we are moving forward, there's more about conversation over the environment, over the impact on the environment. Most likely, we will not be driving the same cars in 5 years or so. Most of the cars would be focusing on emitting less carbon, more of electrical vehicles. The risk landscape is changing. So we as researchers, what are we doing in that space? What kind of solutions are we anticipating in that space? What kind of solutions are we bringing to reduce the levels of accidents? Have you thought about maybe, for example, those people that they died because of drink and drive? Can we create a solution, for example, using artificial intelligence or using other solutions that people can be driving safely and having maybe sensors that can detect movements of other vehicles or drive at the pace of other vehicles and have them controlled? Have you thought about maybe using other even means where we can just, you are at a drinking place, you just engage a certain solution, and then it provokes standby drivers. There are a lot of people that are not working. Standby drivers that would be picking people from various places, dropping them in their homes as a solution to the problem that I narrated regarding the accidents and deaths. Remember, the people that die, we can't program. Some of them are even students. We've heard about students that are coming from graduation and they die on the road to Lilongwe. Very brilliant minds are dying. Some have lost their parents. Some have lost their loved ones. We should be part of that solution. We should be part of that innovation. There are a lot of opportunities outside there, even with us. Annually, we recruit quite a number of graduates, about 10 for graduate training program from different fields, from actuarial, from engineering, different fields, to train them, and they add value to our business. I think the same kind of thing that you should be thinking about for those that you want to work, for those that you want to be serious innovators. I've already given you some hints. There are a lot of opportunities that I think you can tap in. This is my brief presentation. I just wanted to engage you and make sure that you should see something bigger than this. In fact, we need to appreciate the organizers, because these are the things that can transform our country. These are the things that can change our country. I was here at Poli so many years ago. We normally joke with my friends, Why should our mothers still be cooking nsima ndi chintiko? Mzungu akanakhala madya nsima bwezi ali ndi machine ophika nsima. Bwezi kuli nsima kuka. You understand? But we have produced a lot of graduates that have never taken innovation very seriously. Some have prototypes in their research propositions, but in terms of actual implementation, it also needs capital and backup, as our colleagues from the banks are talking about. So from now, you need to start taking life very seriously. In Africa, there's this poor kind of thinking to think that umuntu amakula akafika zaka 30, that's a lie. Serious people, they take life before 20. Serious people, they take life before 20, because anything that you start when you are old, you can't master it. You'll be at the fate of survival. But when you are young like this, is when you can take decisions, take commitments that can bring change, not only to yourself, but to the society, and even establish you as a serious mind. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.
What would you give for peace of mind? Ms. Muntali has all her vehicles insured under UGI's AutoServe car policy and is able to manage all her fleet through an app. Mr. Pili, on the other hand, has to personally manage his fleet vehicle by vehicle. Ms. Muntali knows that by having all of her vehicles covered under AutoServe, she's able to know where her vehicles are going, how fast they're traveling, and how much fuel is being consumed, all in real time. Also, a free anti-theft device is installed in all her vehicles to prevent them from being stolen. In the case of an accident, she gets free towing services to the nearest repairer, and UGI will cover 95% of all repair costs, regardless of who caused the accident. Any medical bills incurred by the driver or passengers will also be covered for up to 500,000 kwacha. So why not choose to manage your fleet effectively? Choose AutoServe. Choose UGI.
Another round of applause for that amazing presentation. One thing about teaching is that my students are always asking me, oh, all the jobs are taken, what will we do when we finish here? But UGI is showing us that there are still problems that Malawi has, and we need thinkers like you to provide solutions. Until today, I couldn't think that people could make vehicle tracking right here in Malawi. But at least now I can tell that there are still problems in this country, and we need the very people in this room and those outside to come up with solutions, isn't it? Right? We need to think outside the box. As we have been told so many times today, research is seeing what everybody else has seen and thinking what nobody else has thought. To close off our afternoon session, this particular part, we still have people pitching their ideas later on. Let me call upon the head of business enablement from Standard Bank, Mr. Noel Mbale.
Good afternoon. It's the afternoon, we don't want people to sleep. So that's why they asked me from Standard Bank to come up here. Okay, all protocols observed. They said the high table. There's only 2 of us in the high table. I don't know why it's high, because we're quite low. Okay, yes, Standard Bank. We believe in Malawi, and we drive Malawi's growth. Thank you. You see, technology is failing me, but it's not technology, it's in between the technology and the hands. Okay, excellent. All right, my presentation has 3 aspects to it. The first one is a case study of the Innovation Incubation Hub with MUBAS, which I thought would be quite ideal for this situation. Then the second one, I have to come and sell, isn't it? So we have our student account, And we have, I think, 3 stations, some outside, some in the car park, where you can ask the difficult questions about the student account. Then we have also an app-centered financial fitness academy, which is on an app, and that covers everybody. Whether you're working, whether you're not working, we have that. Okay, let's start with the exciting one. Okay. Right. A couple of years ago, we were approached by MUBAS that they needed some funding for one of their, they had an innovation week. So as Standard Bank, we raised up our hand and we agreed to sponsor some of the prizes for that week. And at the end of the day, after they did what you're doing, a pitch, there were 3 groups of 4, it says girls, but I'd rather say ladies, from MUST, not MUBAS, but from MUST. Okay, from MUST, who was successful. And we gave them real life challenges. So we gave them about 4 challenges to solve problems for us as a bank. Okay, and the top 3 are the ones that we are displaying here. The first team, Digital Hive, focused on what we call an asset attestation system, because we have a big challenge within the bank of movements of assets within the bank. They came up with innovative solution. They also used blockchain as part of their solution. And what we did, we brought them to our head office in Ilongwe, and they spent about 2 weeks with the actual owners of the problem so that they could understand the problem more and come up with a prototype. After producing the prototype, they presented that to the owners and the rest of the management team, including our CE and the executive management. The other team, Infibite Cybertech. Their challenge was to analyze and manage the branch attendance. So they came up with an innovative way of doing that, which is biometrics, so that, and facial recognition, so that when the branch employee walks in, they already, through the facial recognition, they'll be able to know that this person has walked in, walked out, etc. Because we have, obviously, an attendance register, which is very manual. So I wanted them to solve for that. They also came up with their prototype, and it was a successful prototype. The third team, we called the Hack Heroes. I don't know what your names are, but I hope they're as exciting as some of these names. All right, so we have, in banking, obviously, we have compliance and we have legal requirements. So the challenge for them was to be able to automate the tracking of some of the compliance and legal policies, etc., that we have. Okay, because it's manual, they track it manually. So they came up with an innovative way of doing that, using various tools, and that was presented. Now, just as they've said, you know, there's that valley, they call it the valley of what? Valley of death. So we don't like death. Otherwise, my friend from UGI for insurance would have to come into play. So what we did from there, we said, okay, these 3 ideas, we have the sponsors. Now we asked each sponsor, are you ready for the girls to come back to be able to put it into production? Now, as I speak right now, the Digital Hives team is at our offices. So they're going to put that into production. Now that's what we're talking about. Okay, so this is one step that we as a bank, Standard Bank, have done towards this. Obviously, this means that when we have this catalyst going, it means that we can work with several other institutions on the same. Okay, and the history that we have in Standard Bank, I told Jolin Taba earlier on, we do also work with what we call UNDP, as well as Zanchito program and Zanchito Voices, and we do similar things. In other words, entrepreneurs. We work with business development services providers so they can train them in how to run businesses, etc. And then we also come in with financial management and how to access funds. Okay, everyone thinks that it's a difficult process, but we unpack that to make it simpler, to assist you to be able to access those funds. So we work with various partners, so it's all about collaboration. So what we believe in Standard Bank is to actually test and learn. So this is what we've been testing and we're learning. A couple of weeks ago, I managed to get a pen. Let me see if I still got it. Does anyone recognize this pen? Where is it from? Yes. So we also want to do work with the Unipod and etc. So this is practical example of how business and the universities can work together. There's lots of other things that we can look at, whether it be venture capital, etc. But those are the ideas that we want to, and we can only do that together within the industry. So we want to be able to run with yourselves and everyone else on the same. Thank you. Let me move on to the next one. Okay, I said I can't do this without selling you something. Huh? So let's look at what features does the account have. So those are the features. Should I start explaining them? No. That's good. I didn't want to spend too much time on this one. Okay. I wanted to go to the next thing, which is the Financial Fitness Academy. And we have a video on this. And it explains that the Financial Fitness Academy, the idea of that is everything that actually was covered by our colleagues from FDH. It's about saving, understanding how you're spending your money, etc., making plans so that you can save, as well as not only just save, but also that how you can invest your money. It gives you all the tips, you can ask questions, etc. So the app is there and very useful. To play, will you do it from there? Okay. I don't know if that's the one. Okay. So it's good to have an assistant.
Do you ever feel stuck in the routine of life? You drive to work, you work hard, you give your best, you drive home, and then repeat. Drive, work, home. Drive, work, home. Before you know it, it's the weekend with all its pressures, and suddenly you're 65. But here's the thing, you don't have to be caught in the rat race. We are here to support you on your journey to financial wellness. At the Standard Bank Financial Fitness Academy, we'll help you build a healthy relationship with money, with your assets, and with all aspects of your finances. Let's start with our wealth framework. This framework helps you understand how to make money, spend money, save and invest money, give money. Surrounding it all is a vital layer, plan and protect. This is your insurance in case of anything. Planning for and protecting what matters most is essential. On the left side of the framework, you'll see creating and building wealth. This is about saving and investing, storing up value for your future needs. On the right side, it's about spending and giving, living with purpose, enjoying your wealth and building your legacy. Many people overlook the importance of balance, but today we're going to talk about balancing all four areas, planning for the future and protecting ourselves and our families. Let's explore two real-life journeys. One, young and promising. You're just starting out, maybe in university, maybe in your first job. Now's the perfect time to start saving, even just 10 to 20% of your monthly income. Set it aside into different investment vehicles. Who's really street smart? The one who plans early. 2. Climbing the career ladder. You're making strides in your career. The decisions you make now will shape the rest of your working life. Learn the difference between good debts and bad debts. Let your money work for you. Take smart risks. This is the time to fail forward. You can bounce back. Getting married. This phase calls for structure and focus. You may have a young family, so every move matters. Start investing in a mix of asset classes. Double down on side hustles or investment vehicles with the most potential. Parenthood. You're now in a steady rhythm. Your investments should cover several months of expenses, but now it's also about building a legacy, investing in the next generation, be it your children or the people you lead. Retirement. These are your golden years. You don't want to worry about rent or bills. If you have been disciplined, this can be the most fulfilling chapter of your life, giving back to loved ones and to your community. In closing, whenever you think about wealth, ask yourself, where am I going? What's my end goal? Because wealth and purpose are deeply connected. What you do with your money reflects where you want to go in life. You can't fully live your purpose without resources, so always align your financial choices with your vision. Wealth doesn't happen overnight. It takes small, consistent steps day by day, with support from those around you, and sometimes with the help of an advisor. It's a journey, personal, unique, and ongoing. Remember, risk looks different for everyone. Wealth means different things to different people. Your story is your own, and that's what makes it both challenging and exciting. Are you ready to join us on this journey of growth? Let's get financially fit together.
Okay, that's the end of the presentation. As we say, Malawi is our home. We drive our growth. And I'm looking forward to the pitches because I've been interacting with several entrepreneurs on the other side, trying to give funds to see which ideas are actually worth putting money on. Smile. Thank you very much.
Let's give him another round of applause. From the very, very last presentation, the video, I got this quote: always align your financial choices with your vision. And again, we are here to foster entrepreneurs, isn't it? So let's go and check out our partners' pavilions. They're outside. If we have any questions, let's go invest with them so that they can invest with us. As he has just said, he's looking at ideas to put what? Money in, isn't it? Yeah. So one thing that we have learned, I think, from this session is that for those of us who, for everybody actually, whether you want to be an entrepreneur or you want to work in the commercial sector, is that the commercial sector is looking for innovative minds. You know, when you get out of school, you apply for this and you apply for that and you wonder why you might have good grades, but they're not choosing you. It's because they've seen it all before. They want new things. So let's be innovative. Let's look at research. Let's talk to our partners so that they must also invest in our ideas. Again, one last round of applause. To take us through our last session, may I call upon my colleague, Hope Chilunga, and he'll take us through the innovative pitching session. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. And once again, thank you for coming to MUBAS, where we've got IT specialists, we have environmental specialists, and not forgetting the engineers. Okay, cool. But we already know what engineers are thought of, isn't it? They say we can't speak good English. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hope Chilunga, and I studied engineering. And today, I'm your MC as well. Thank you. So we already know that Malawi is the country on the move, and we're moving towards development. But what is development without sustainability? Technology has proven to provide sustainable development. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we will show you what we have designed, what we have built, and what we have produced. We will start with the land guards. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Isaac Mofolo, and I'm doing land economy. And I have come with my project. It is called Land Guard, a digital land register and plot verification system. Yeah, currently in Malawi. This I observed when I was doing attachment in the Ministry of Lands. When you want to find or to sell your property, or you want to take a loan from bank, you need to take certificate of official stage from the Ministry of Lands. And you present the certificate of official stage to bank. And this process is done manually in Ministry of Lands. So I have tried to digitalize the system so that people can find certificate of official stage using their phone. So the system is designed with two parts. We have admin dashboard and use dashboard. Admin dashboard is one responsible for data entry into the system and some editings. And the user, the owner of the property, can find his property from the system by just entering his name, which was registered in the system, or using plot number. Once you enter your name or plot number, the system will show your property on the map, and you will see the shape of your plot like boundaries. Once you click the property, it will show the details of that property, which was entered into the system.
This presenter, Land Guard, we will have the second presenters. They will talk about Nyani. Nyani. Thank you.
Right. 1, 2. Okay, it's working. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Timothy Miamba, and with me here is Chibwe. He will be the controller of this presentation while I dictate. The first thing that I'd like for everyone to do is, if you have a mobile phone, please scan the QR code on the screen or visit nyani.app. We want to make this presentation as interactive as possible, so we'd like for everyone to be engaged. So if you can, please scan the QR code or visit nyani.app. Right, while you do that, I do have a question for everyone in this room, because we're all either in academia directly or alumni. How many of us have actually used past papers to prepare for exams? I just want a show of hands. Wow, a large majority, including the front row. That's great. Past papers are a very important way in how we actually prepare for exams, because they help us actually get an understanding of those questions. I had my hand raised, but then myself, I didn't actually believe in past papers, because I thought if you really understood the content, you don't really need past papers, do you? Right? Because if you understand it, you should just get everything right. Until one day I ended up getting hit by an exam paper that asked me questions that I just did not expect. And the people who actually managed to practice past papers, they all passed. But at the end of the day, what happened to me? I failed, so I caved, and then I started using past papers to also practice for exams. But as I was doing that, I managed to find a lot of issues, two major ones. One was to do with access. Sometimes I would go to the library to look for a past paper, and I just wouldn't find it there, either because somebody is using it or it just isn't present anymore. The other issue that I would end up having was to do with the accuracy of the answers. There was no way I could actually tell that I've written the right thing. How many of us have actually practiced and then we put an answer whether we're at group discussions or we're alone, and then we don't know whether or not the lecturer would have actually accepted this? The solution to this is just to get mark schemes, but there's no way that lecturers would ever give mark schemes for obvious reasons. So we wanted a way to actually provide feedback, to actually know that I'm on the right track as I am practicing these past papers, which is what ended up giving us the idea of Nyani. If you are on the platform right now, I would like you to hit Get Started to start the sign-up process. I know a few of you have also had the chance to actually sign up. If you've already signed up, you can just hit Sign In, or you can hit Get Started. We have an explanation of all the features in the system. If you scroll down on this same page, there's a Why Choose Nyani section that covers all the functionalities that we currently have, which we continue to work on as we move. Right, so I'm expecting that everybody's either signed in or in the process of signing up. After you sign up or sign in, you're going to have a page that looks like this that says no rented papers. And then you go on to hit find papers to rent. I know the rent thing is looking a bit funny for a lot of you, but we'll get to that. So what happens is you then rent the paper. We set a specific paper for research and innovation. You can just hit rent on that paper. And you then click proceed to payment. The cost is 50 kwacha for those who are willing in the crowd today to continue this specific presentation. But if you are not able to, it's okay. We're all engaged. We're all going to take this paper together. So he's going to punch in my mobile number. We've used PayChango as the payment gateway because it takes quite a while to actually set these things up with telcos and banks. You need to be a very proven business to get started. So we're not yet there, but hopefully we will after today. Right, I've gotten the push on my phone and put my PIN. And I've successfully paid 50 kwacha now. And it gives me access to the paper for 24 hours. Now, why am I renting a paper exactly? So we now hit the view paper. The reason is because I have special features that I get access to. We also have support for appendix files. So for papers that have a lot of appendices, those people who do mathematical sciences or do anything that's science related, you're familiar with this. You have very long appendices. So we do have that functionality as well that lets you download an appendix. You can hit continue to paper. Right, and if you download today's appendix, you're actually just going to find the program for Research and Innovation Week. So if you haven't yet gotten it, you can go ahead and do so there. So the first question is, what was the theme for the first MUBAS Research and Innovation Week? This is a little bit of trivia. The theme for the first MUBAS Research and Innovation Week, we need to be very quick, very limited time. I want any answer. Just try. Fanta. Okay, let's go for Fanta as the theme for the first MUBAS Research and Innovation Week. Let's submit the answer there. Right, and then we can now scroll down even further and then start solving the next question. With the help from the diagram, what are the 3 pillars of MUBAS? Oh, you guys saw the feedback. Did we get something? We got a few marks? Or was it a 0 out of 10? Oh, that's disappointing. It's okay, we'll get feedback. All right, so with the help of the diagram, what are the 3 pillars of MUBAS? We already have the diagram that's actually giving us a hint. Exactly, so we are going to put in that answer there. Innovate, create, and generate. As you've seen here, we do have support for images for those people with exams that actually have a lot of diagrams. This is very common in engineering. And most modules, to be clear. Right, that's a 10 out of 10. At least we did well on something. Now we can now scroll even further, and then this one needs us to draw a pie chart breakdown for each of the 4 schools. So we just put rough estimates for how many people are in which schools. So it requires you to draw a pie chart. So the question you now have is, how do I draw a pie chart and then submit it to this system? We now have functionality for that as well. It allows you to upload an image. So I drew my own little pie chart here. It's not the fanciest pie chart. I think it would do the trick. And we're going to upload it to the system now. So somebody who wants to actually answer by freehand, this is common with mathematical papers. You typically don't want to put that in a specific document. You want to just write that down. Or questions that tell you with the aid of a diagram, please respond with this. This caters to exactly just that. Right, so this is then analyzed by the system, and then we're given the feedback on how well we're actually done. And if you've noticed, that question also came in the form of a table. We also have support for tables for the accounting students and commerce students that are familiar with that. Papers tend to have quite a lot of tables, and we have support for that too. Once we've now finished the paper, we only had 3 questions for this paper, you can now hit Get Final Report. And once you've gotten this final report, you then get the response that you put in, the response that you got from the system, and improvement suggestions. And here it actually says Fanta is a soft drink, so it doesn't count. Ways to improve is to actually get the proper thing for Research and Innovation Week in this case. And if we scroll further down, question 2, it's the same thing. We have the response that we got from the system and how we can actually improve it. And if you scroll further down, we also get places on how we can actually improve, telling us that we're supposed to add a title to charts to actually make the chart properly presented. The other thing that we have on this page is this guy over here that says a readiness score. This is used to help assess how ready you are for an exam, depending on how well you actually have been preparing. So this takes into account how many papers you've actually practiced up until this point, and gives an estimate of what grade would you get if you were to take that paper today. I like to tell the story about how I was using this system last semester in my Java programming exam, and then it told me readiness score was 77%. CMIS came out, 77%. So it's useful in those cases. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you are wondering, how can we make this work when you're early in the semester? You don't need an entire paper. Why on earth would I write an entire paper when I just want like 2 questions out of it to actually practice? You'd want some form of like mini exam that's targeting what you've learned for the first 2 weeks or up until mid-semester. So we came up with this quizzes feature, which essentially allows you to generate a quiz, give it topics. For example, I'm an IT student in my final year. We're learning server administration, so we're gonna use that as a test. We do DNS, which is a protocol, and we also do Active Directory, which is what came in our mid-semester. So I use the same system to practice for just that. You can give any range of questions between 1 to 30. We're going to do 2 for the interest of time. And then you get to generate a quiz. So even if your paper is not available in the Nyani system, you can go ahead and prepare. In fact, you can ask questions in any discipline as long as it's educational, because the learning model that we have here is specific for educational purposes. And then you can then hit view, and then you can go ahead and actually practice the paper. Great. The first question is briefly explain how Active Directory works. We're going to let our Yaza teach us or go through it. Right, I hope he was right. And then we get to hit submit. And he can continue doing the paper until you're done. So you can see how this becomes useful for people who don't have papers in the system, and for when you just want specific topics that you're targeting to prepare for a test or a mid-semester or another test, because they only cover a subset of topics. But this is the entire concept of the Nyani system, and these are the core features that are there. We work tirelessly to continuously improve it and make it better for all students, because it's an app built for students by students. And when you now get the final report, we have the clear assessment and all that feedback given just as well. But that's all that we had to share today. Thank you for your time and more for your engagement. Have a good day, or if you like, a good night. Exactly. Thank you.
Well, it's just getting better and better and better. Of course, I see a lot of people smiling now, but to be honest, I've never used Nyani before. I've never used Nyani before. Our next speech is coming from Smart Farms. We all want to eat. We're talking about agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Smart Farm coming in front of us. I see a lot of farmers in the house. Okay, cool.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Prince Jimu, and I'll be presenting the Smart App application. To be specific, I'll be presenting an AI model that we've designed that is used for plant disease detection. So a little background. We all know how it's, hard to describe what you're feeding to a doctor. Let's say you go to a doctor and you're feeding something. As a person, it's hard to describe. Sometimes the doctor may not get what you're trying to say and maybe give you wrong medications. It does happen, right? Personally, I have experience with that. But imagine trying to explain a disease from a plant. I've seen farmers who have made losses because they were unable to understand what their plants were suffering from. So this AI model is here to solve that problem. So it's here to help you describe what the disease is, and as we're going to see from the demonstration, how it works and how the output looks like. So first of all, we talk about, I'll explain the problem that we're trying to solve. So okay, move on. Yeah, so the problem that we're trying to solve is the lack of timely disease management. Like I said, if you don't know what the disease is, it is hard for you to just go to a store and then buy medicine, You could buy the wrong medicine and then, end up killing the whole farm. So like Hope said, we all want to eat. If you kill the farm, you're not eating. So we're trying to solve that problem. So how are we solving the problem? What is our solution? Our proposed solution is an AI-powered plant disease detection. So like I said, we've trained the model to understand an input, which is in the form of an image, and to tell you what the disease is and what it's caused by. And also, as you can see from the second point, it has Chichewa translation. So, we're talking about farmers here. We're not talking about technical people or people in academics. Most farmers are not highly educated. So if you present the result in English completely, farmers may not be able to understand what you're trying to say. So we've also included Chichewa translation so that a normal farmer from a village can understand what we're trying to do. So moving on. So like I said, it is an AI model, and the principle of operation is it takes in input as a picture. So you can take the picture right then and there, or you can upload the picture if you took it previously, and then you can provide it to the AI for it to detect the disease. And then the AI produces the report summary that is produced in both Chichewa and English, as I've said before. So this is just a simple diagram of showing you how the system works. So you give it the input, it goes into the detection model. We haven't named it yet. Hopefully you'll find a good name for the model. For now, let's just call it our detection model. So the model produces a JSON response. For the technical people, they know what that means. And the response is then sent to Gemini AI for synthesis and producing a report in English and Chichewa for people to understand. Because, we're not all technical people in here. So if you produce a JSON, most people don't even know what JSON is in this room. So we're trying to produce it in a way that everyone can understand it, right? So moving on. And again, for the technical people, these are the frameworks we've used for building the application. We've used React Native for the UI, since it's a mobile application, and we've used PyTorch and TensorFlow for developing the AI model. And I think we can go straight to the demonstration. Yeah, so this is the screen that hits you first when you open the application. There's a button down there that says Get Started, so you can log in as a member. And so this is if you have an account created already. So we're going to simulate how it works. So you enter your email, and so this was me testing the application. This is an email created just for testing purposes. So you enter your email, and then you enter your ID, and then you can enter your password, and then click login. So for the location, for now, it's just showing Malawi, but it's supposed to show, the actual district that you're coming from. So that's what we're trying to integrate in there. So you hit login, and that's the application. So the application is a broad application. It does so many things, but for now we're going to focus on the AI assistant that's used for disease detection. So you can upload an image, as you can see from the video. And once you upload the image, you hit diagnose, and we just give it some time to analyze the image, analyze the patterns and the leaf and the veins and everything, the colors, and it should produce a report that tells you what the disease is. So there's a report. First of all, in English, as you can see, it tells you what the disease is. It tells you the causes of the disease. In this case, it was rust, and it's showing us how rust is caused, and it's showing us the effect on the plant as well, so you can know how much damage it makes to the plant itself. And then suggested treatment. So there's chemicals there. You can present this to a store where they sell the medications, because like I said, you can't just go and explain it. It could be hard for a person to explain, but if you have something like this, then it'll be easy for a person to provide the correct medication. And then you can also, like I said, translate it to Chichewa, and as you can see, it says, Libodi la kuzindikia zomela, and Madenda, which is a disease, and it tells you in Chichewa, Madenda one, it's Mbili. Like I said, it's rust, so it's translating. And the reason, or the cause, Chifugwa, Sotsadila, moving on like that, which is very easy for a person to understand. And maybe if you understand the causes, you can try to prevent it, things like that. So that is all for the demonstration of how the application works. Like I said, it is a prototype right now. It is trained with a few diseases, but we hope to train it more so that it understands more plants and more diseases. And moving on to our future considerations and what we're trying to do with the application in future. So as you can see, the first point says we want to expand the AI capabilities to detect more complex diseases. Like I said, we want to train it more so that it knows more diseases and it is more helpful to farmers. And we've also received some very good recommendations outside when we were pitching our ideas to the judges and the people who were passing. So we received very good recommendations, and one of them being that we could embed the model in drones, because if you have a large farm and you're trying to take images of every plant to understand the disease, it could be very tiresome to take pictures of every single plant. So you can use a drone. Just go through the farm, take pictures, and then you can upload the pictures to the system, and it can give you reports, and you can use the reports to get medication. The other thing is to integrate weather and forecasts and soil health analysis. So that is to allow the application to have a better understanding of the environment, because diseases can be caused by different things depending on the environment that you're in. So for example, in Malawi, if you have a disease that can affect maize in Malawi, it couldn't be the same disease affecting maize in the US. So we want the application to have integrated weather forecasts and soil analysis so that it knows where you are and how you can solve the problem. Let's say you're in an area where you have high humidity, and the problem that you have is caused by high humidity. So the application should give you the correct treatment suggestions. And the last one is to add a payment gateway for transactions. So that comes in because, like I said, it's a broad application. We also have cooperatives that can sign in and have a group, because, like I said, we're targeting local farmers. So most farmers may not have mobile devices, right? So if you have a cooperative and you have like 20 farmers, at least one person can have a mobile device, and then they can use that mobile device to use the application and, diagnose diseases. There's a marketplace on the application that was supposed to complete, and they can do transactions there once we add the payment gateway for transactions. That is the end of our presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, smart farming. We had smart farming in front of us. Now we can actually farm with clean hands using AI and machinery as well. I remember one time when I went to ShopRite, I parked my bicycle somewhere, just the entrance there, and when I was coming back, I didn't find it. And then I was wondering, where has it gone? And I went inside ShopRite, and then I asked, where is my bike? And they just made me make a poster, and then they put it out there. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have technology. I no longer have to put posters. Let me call lost and found, just to show you how we will be finding our things when we lose them. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nadila Duda, pursuing Bachelor's in Management Information Systems Year 4 here at the mighty MUBAS. Life is sweeter. Imagine losing something valuable to you, such as maybe you can lose certificates, IDs, or wallets. Most of us tend to use Facebook, WhatsApp to post our items, wait, and actually hope that maybe we could actually get our things back. Considering the fact that there is no such organized system to report or search these lost items, that we people only rely on social media posts, community groups, and whatsoever. So this actually creates gaps, communication gaps between the owners and those who can find the app, the lost items, I mean. So many people tend to not get their stuff, or even, not get their stuff. So I and my team, we decided to develop a mobile app, which is titled Lost and Found App, to help reconnect users to find their lost items and also find their missing items. So this app basically has several features, like people would be able to report lost or find items. I can lose something and report, or maybe someone can find something and also report. There's smart reporting, whereby people will be able to upload features, to upload photos, provide descriptions, location, and also browse through categorized listings. And there's also smart matching, whereby there will be automatic alerts, like if a suitable match has been found, the system will be able to detect and offer the alerts to the possible owners. There's also secure chat, whereby if maybe someone has found something, only the owner will be able to connect with the person who has found the app. And also verification. We decided to make a comparison between our app and Facebook, that our app is basically dedicated for users to find lost and found items, whereby Facebook is just a general platform whereby people use to connect and even find life partners. And on notification, this app will provide real-time notifications for immediate updates on matches, whereby Facebook doesn't necessarily provide alerts if someone has posted that I've lost something or not. And there will be also messaging, whereby owners and someone who has found the app can chat. And on Facebook, there's no such messaging. And okay, some of this you get to understand when my colleague is presenting and taking you through the mobile app. Yeah, that's all I had for you. Thank you.
All right, everyone. My name is Samson Jintenga. So I'll take you through the demonstration of Lost and Found app. So much has been said by my colleague. So right here, this is the mobile app, the UI that after you download the app, you are going to find something like this one. So he has talked about reporting lost items. So in the first place, I'm just going to show you, with the interest of time, how the reporting actually works. So you can actually hit this button here, whereby you're going to the app is going to take you through the form you're going to fill. So as you can upload the image, description, the name of the item, the category itself. So after uploading the item that you have actually lost, people were going to be notified that ABC has lost an item at such kind of a place at a particular time. Also, and the other thing is, what if I've found an item and I've posted on the app? Maybe I can have 5 people claiming the ownership of the item. So if I'm to return the item to the specific owner of the item, now the app has a magic feature behind it, whereby one, if like for example, this one is item that has been posted as someone has found it. So I need to claim the ownership of the item. So in the first place, I need to view the item itself. Then I need to claim or verify the ownership of the item. Now you can see right here, we don't have the details or contact details of the one who have actually posted the item. But now, after I've put the verification or I've verified the ownership of the item, to say after this, putting the description, the photos, and the owner is going to verify, I mean the one who has posted the item is going to verify. So, like for example, he or she can receive so many, the verification requests. But now based on the features or the features that the physical item is having, is going to compare to say, I think this one is fake, this one is fake, this one is fake, but this one is the right person for this item. So I'm just going to provide a quick description right here. And with the interest of time, let's just hit request. Oh. So since the app is Smart User, I'll allow my colleague to verify the request. So as you see what actually happens. So after I submit the request, she or he is going to verify the request and have that kind of capability to say, oh, I think this one is fake, this one is right. So let's just wait for the network issue. All right, so with the interest of time, let's just assume that the request has been submitted, yeah? All right, so let's just assume. But that's basically what's going to happen. The verification request is going to be sent to the one who actually posted the item. Then this status of a button here is going to change. If at all the request is going to be accepted. So that the button is going now to ask me to contact the owner. The one who has found the item. Like it's going, all the details of the person who posted the items are going to be shown. And one, the app has inbuilt messaging capability whereby we're going to communicate via the app, or you can actually use the phone call because the number is going to be provided after verification has been done. Yeah, that's basically what happens to avoid such kind of issues whereby everyone is going to claim the ownership of the item. Another thing that I wanted to show you is how the matching actually works. So, suppose I've lost an item and this one has found the item. But now the item have some similarities between. So the app is also going to notify that's two of us that there is a potential match between your lost item as well as the item that has been found by someone else. So right here, this is the notification panel whereby there is a potential match for a certain lost item and the item that have been found. So there is the percentage score. So basically what happens is the app is going to check the name of the item, the description, the location, whatsoever is. So in the future enhancement of the app, we are looking forward whereby we can use the models like, for example, the light by itself. There is also a certain model whereby it's going to check whatsoever is in the app and the item that has been posted. So there is a matching up. So the matching algorithm. So as to prevent, like, I can just go straight to the app and scroll all the lost items. But now, if there is a matching, that's going to reduce that kind of time-consuming process. So that's basically what the app does. Thank you very much for your time.
Let's give them another round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, when Standard Bank came in front of here, when Mr. Noel was presenting, they talked about cash. Money is like water. If you don't see the leakage, then you're likely to run dry. The next presentation, it's about cash tracking, another application. Thank you. Let me have George.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. All protocols observed. My name is Yanko Funsani, and my friend here is Charles Mbewe, and we'll be presenting to you the financial documents tracking system, especially for NGOs. For this system to be developed, we used a study case earlier of Chibwe community development. What's the problem, you might be wondering, in Chibwe community development? So right now, they rely on donors to receive funds to operate their organization. But there are some problems that they are currently facing. So the problems is that the manual system right now, they are complaining of loss of the financial documents, as well as they are not equally connected. So you might find like they have forms, like for example, a cash request, as well as a voucher, and as well as how that money was spent. So they have like one document missing, and this is really breaching the donors' trust. And then the organizations are currently shutting down, and then it's affecting the development of Malawi. And also, there is also a lack of inaccurate financial reporting due to errors, like manual errors that can occur, transposition errors. Maybe you can write 50,000 instead of 500,000, and then you have like to delete that form and then tear it and fill another form. And this is also leading to wastage of stationery. So what will our application be solving? So our application is a web-based financial document tracking system, which will be able to provide a multi-level interface where everyone in the organization has their roles and they will log in based on their roles. We have the staff role, the programs manager, as well as the executive director. We will also have these forms connected together, and they will be able to download the forms. They will be available for downloads, and you can show them to your stakeholders, donors, and then they can be able to see that, oh, you are really doing a great job. We also have email alerts. Let's say they are working on a certain project remotely. So yeah, you have that ability to send a new cash requisition form, and then the financial officer can get the email, and then they will he or she will be able to answer you, approve the cash requisition, and then you get the voucher while you are on that remote area, rather than going and waiting on the officer. Oh, is the financial officer ready? Is he in already? I need to send him my cash requisition form. So the principle of operation for our system is that you can request cash by generating a cash requisition form from authorized users. And once it is approved, a financial officer gets notified, and it moves in the hierarchy from the financial officer to the programs manager as well as to the executive director. And they will be emailed of the status of the cash requisition form as well as the voucher. We know everyone will like investing in things. So once you invest in a certain, or you donate to a certain organization, you need to know how your resources have been used, if they have made an impact to the audience. So the benefits is like you have timely financial reporting, since everyone will be able to view and do their roles within the system. We're not waiting in the offices or to search for the documents in the documents room or whatsoever. So it will also boost donors' trust, since we rely mostly on donors, so the donors will be able to trust us. Now, on trust, I remember this certain quote from David Webbecker, who said that trust is the new objective. So the donors, they will look, okay, I have this objective on this organization, but if I don't trust it, how will I invest in that organization? But once you have all these financial documents connected, they see them, they know how you're operating, how you are using their resources, they will be able to trust you. You'll get more funds, and innovation starts within the community, starts within the NGO. So on commercialization of how we've implemented, we will launch a fully working system by December, which we are still improving. Outside, we have received nice recommendations on how we can improve our system. As well as on commercialization, you can get a one-time licensing where every organization, NGO who wants this can get the application and host it by themselves, or we can host for them and they pay hosting fees. They get updates as well as training and support. So now you have just seen me talking. We should go through the system and see how it actually operates. Okay, so this is the system. As I was saying, there are different financial documents for each organization. We have the new cash requisition form, payment voucher, as well as the retirement form. As you can see there, you have the date and the status of your form. If it's done, it will show you. If it's approved, maybe it's tagged in the programs manager or the finance. If it's submitted, it's submitted to the financial manager who have to monitor that. You have authorized form rejected, and that's the dashboard that will help you to know what type of forms needs your attention currently. This is the dashboard of the staff. As I said, it's a role-based. So now we are going to log out of the staff and we're going to go for the higher hierarchy, which is the finance director. So here, the finance director has received a requisition as well as the voucher and the retirement. He or she can open the requisition form and try to review it against the policies as well as maybe the budget that was created. And he has those three options, either to reject, send back, or accept. Once he accepts, the owner that sent that requisition form will receive an email that your requisition form has been accepted or your voucher has been accepted. And the one receiving for further reviewing will also receive an email that, oh, you've got a new financial document that is needing your attention. So what I was explaining, can you show them the emails, please? Yeah, that's there. A cash requisition form number that has been reviewed. So you get an email that your cash requisition number, what has been reviewed. So this will help you to track all your documents. Now the donors come in. You guys in the industry, you come from the view what you have invested. What can this system help you? We have here the download forms, where we have all the forms that are related to a particular project. You can come or invested in maybe gender-based violence. You'll be able to see the requisition form, the voucher, as well as the retirement on how your resources were used by the organization. Then you say, oh, let me invest more money. So finally, a call of action. We are calling for action for early adopters as well as innovators to please help in financing our product, so that any of you who are using these forms to manage your financial document, you don't have to be an NGO. You can be any organization, but as long as you have projects that use these forms, we can help you track your financial documents, keeping it all transparent and your money safe. Thank you very much.
I think this app is very important. I mean, imagine your wife or your girlfriend sending you a requisition through this app. Our next presentation, it's about deepfake. Imagine this time we're in politics now, election time. There's a lot of videos going out there, a lot of news. We need to track which is true and which is false. So we have this app and they're going to demonstrate how it works. I remember one time when I was standing as an MP of a certain area in Mbewe, they had put my face that I've got gray hair, something like that. And this actually made me to lose the election because I was looking like my grandma, yeah? My grandpa, I mean. So people were not interested. Actually, that time, they wanted people, the young ones to be elected. So I'll give the floor to deepfake.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, so my name is Anderson Fuse, a final year student doing management information systems. So as he has already said, my project is about combating political deepfakes. Yeah, so this is the brief background. So as we all know that AI has gained much attention among people because it has simplified how people used to do some of their things. That is, and one of the things that it has simplified is media creation. Now people are able to create videos, images, even text as well. So once these things have been produced, they can be used in different in their everyday life, that is. So one of the things that they produce is videos, that is. So these videos, okay, let me start again, please. Sorry. Yeah, so as I already said that AI simplified how we used to do some of our things, and one of the things that is simplified is media creation. So in my case, I'm focusing only on videos. So now people are able to produce realistic videos from using generative AI. Yeah. So because of that opportunity and lack of proper regulations to regulate that production of such videos, people are now tend to misuse that opportunity now. So they are using that opportunity to spread misinformation. And when those things are spread through social media platforms, may damage someone's reputation and the public opinion. So these deepfakes have a huge impact when it comes to politics, whereby it's a game of numbers and people easily believe what they see and what they hear. Yeah, so that's my problem. People are intentionally producing video deepfakes to mislead voters and influence public opinion. And the second problem is that people are unable to differentiate between what's real or what's fake. Yeah, so this is the proposed solution, whereby I developed a machine learning model that is capable for detecting such manipulations from videos. So the application, it's a web-based application, which is utilizing neural network models to classify the videos either being real or fake. So this is just the principle of operation. So the user uploads a video, and then the model preprocesses the video to remove some noise from it. And then the neural network models analyze the features from the video, and then the model is able to give back the results, either being real or fake. So this is a system architecture that I use to train and predict. So I will not go much into detail on this, but let me just demonstrate. So that's the UI, that's the landing page that is. So yeah, as you can see, yeah, so once the user arrives at the landing page, he go on the upload button, where he will be asked to select the video he wants to verify that is. So in my case, I have some of the videos. So I'll start by testing a real one. So as you can see, it's detecting and cropping out faces. So let's wait and see the result, if it's going to be real. So as you can see, the model now has given us the result that is. So that's the video. Yeah, so yeah, as you can see, we also have that score. That's the confidence of our model of that video being real, that is. So I can even try a fake one. Oh. Yeah. so that's another video of Chibwe bomb down to Peter Mtali. So that's the problem that I was dealing with. So with that, thank you. That marks the end of my presentation.
So that was deepfake. So we have seen a video here of two presidents bowing down to each other. They say it's fake. So now, during these election times, I mean, you can start using this even now, right now. You can start, take a screenshot, upload it to this app, and then check whether the image is real or fake. Having said that, now we are coming to our another presentation of monitoring guards. I mean, we have seen a lot of guards sleeping around, but this application is going to solve this problem. Thank you. This is why I love technology. It gives you a second chance. Every time it gives you a second chance.
My name is Stefano Manyoa, a student doing Bachelor of Science in Mathematical Sciences. I have developed a guard monitoring and communication system to solve problems which happens in all the security companies and the security providing individuals having their guards to supervise. As you can know, the manual guard supervision, that is, supervisor needs to walk around to check if the guards are at their assigned position. It takes a lot of time and also takes a lot of money during the transport costs. So this system works in such a way that the supervisor assigns guards to places. Before that, this system can be used by security provided companies or even government agencies like the police or any security providing provider. It can be used so by an individual at their homes. Let's say if you have a guard which you doubt his movements, you can install the application, and after installing that application, you create an account. After creating an account, the application will give you a code where you give that guard a code, and his movements will be monitored. As I have already said, the problems during limited visibility into gas locations and activities, that is to check if whether the gas are at their send post or not. And so there's delayed communication using the manual supervision. So this system has a chat functionality where gas themselves and the supervisor chat in real time. And so another problems in manual supervision, there's difficulty in tracking attendance and the patrol compliance. In manual supervision, a guard can lie that I'm available at this post while he is not. But with this system, the guard, after arriving at their assigned post, he will need to check in, that is registering that they are available at that post. After checking in, there are two kinds of checking in methods. That is using geolocation and the Wi-Fi. Using the geolocation, when the guard is checking in, their location at the current time is compared with the one that the supervisor entered. If the location match, it will allow access. Using the Wi-Fi method, the supervisor enters a Wi-Fi network which the guard will use in order to connect to that network. If they don't connect to the particular network set, the registering or checking in will not be possible. This one I have already explained. The supervisor need to assign posts, assign patrol areas, and so monitor attendance. Another question maybe you can have is like, a guard, yes, can check in, and after checking in, the guard can leave that phone and walk away. To solve that problem, the system will have multiple checking in times. For example, let's say the guarding operation will run from 6 o'clock p.m. to 4 a.m. That is the supervisor during creation of the assignment to state the number of checking in times. Let's say if he say like this guard, his checking in times 10, the system will generate multiple random checking in times 10 times. That is, let's say if he has checked in the first post at 6 o'clock, the next checking in time he will not know it. Doing so, it will make the guard be attentive, because he will be like, I need to be attentive so that the next checking in I should not miss it. And with this method, the guard cannot leave their assigned place. Because if they leave their assigned place, a notification will be sent to the supervisor that this kind of guard leave his assigned place with these meters. Here are some of the images that display the applications. This one is the supervisor dashboard, and this one shows the number of people available online, and it shows the guards that are on duty. Without wasting much time, I will demonstrate a video which just show, let's say a guard has been assigned to guard at Chibwe, and he wants to check in here at Poli. It will reject that request. Yeah. As you can see, it says you are 153 meters away from Chitawira. You must be within 50 meters. That is, during the assignment of the operation, the supervisor stated that this particular guard should be within 50 meters for the checking in to be taking place. I tried this operation outside and it rejected. I just do some screen recording on my phone. Reaching this point, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Let's have another hand. The next presentation, it's every young man's dream. I remember when I was younger, I wanted to become a pilot. 10 years down the line, I'm a drone pilot. So ladies and gentlemen, the other pitch that we have right now, it's drone for tourism. Thank you.
I've already said this line. And on addition of what I said, a few local built drones solution exists. So this appears as CS percent. So as okay, so what's the solution we have developed? The drone uses ESP32 powered or ESP32. And it's cost effective, and it senses the voice and gestures. It's easy to use, no piloting skills, as I've already said. It uses toroidal propellers, which are these propellers that are link shaped. So they reduce noise. So as we all know, the old drive doesn't need a lot of noise, like disturbances, I should say. What are the features? So it has voice, and at the moment we can control it using voice. But later on we use gestures, and it's used in toroidal propellers. It will be featured GPS mode, geofacing. That is, it will not be allowed to operate outside the fence or the tourist sites. And it will be incorporated with the FPV view drone, view goggles, and already flight display for flight display. System.
So right now we want to test how we can command it as it is lying over there using voice recognition.
Start. Sorry.
All right. So, yeah.
Start. Oh, sorry. I forget the channel is.
Forgive us.
Start.
All right. As you can see, it has started on its own. That's what we're talking about. We're still developing it as it seems there. It's even included in the presentation as we cruise through the presentation. So there it goes. Just for the, okay, as you can see on the presentation there, we have controlled it using the version 1, but then there's a finished operating system that will be using to control the whole thing. So as you can see, this is what it can do. This is just a scratch of it.
So what's the impact of this whole project? Number one, it makes drone accessible to tourists. It promotes Malawi security worldwide. It reduces noise, pollution in natural sites. It encourages local innovators and youth in tech. And it adds value to tourist impacts as well as guys. What's the project plan? From January this year, we have designed this body
from scratch. As you can see, we've made this one on our own from scratch.
We have been working with the Uniport to develop all this, and that's so. From now onwards, July to December, we are still developing the system and the Toda OS version 2. That one will be the working prototype for this. Tourists want memories, not manuals. I mean, isn't this a test? Silent, smooth, and isn't this a test? I mean, silent, smooth, and yeah, that's it. So what's the meaning now is funding, and in the end, by December, it will be accomplished. Thank you.
For safety reasons, we couldn't see the drone fly, but yeah, it flies. Yeah, so the sky is no longer the view, but now the sky. Okay, cool. Yeah, I wanted to say the sky is no longer the limit, but the sky is our point of view. Having said that, we have seen that we can innovate, we can generate, and we can create in all categories. We are talking about agriculture, we are talking about education, and lastly, we are talking about the drones themselves. Thank you so much. That was our last presentation. And this time I'll ask Dr. Fleming Zingwila to just give us a closing remark. Thank you.
A big hand for our facilitator. Not a small hand, a big one. Yes. The VC says we can do it, not we'll do it later on. Okay, I think my task is just a task, just to wrap up what we've actually experienced today. It was a big day, starting with beautiful and brilliant speeches from the Vice Chancellor, the guest of honor, the keynote, and all other speakers. And also this afternoon when we have experienced, actually showcased some of the innovations. You know, the VC challenged us, and I loved the way she put it. I think she challenged the HR department, H&I department, and I think some tentacles of H&I department is here. I think I wanted to appeal to you to say, yes, you know, when we have, this is the third year of the innovation, research and innovation. But the question that she challenged is, are we solving any problem? The first year, 2023, what problem did we solve? The 2024, what problem did we solve? And now, this is now 2025, what problems are we solving? I think we're doing a lot, but I think what we need to do is to track the innovation. So I think that's what is important. The guest of honor indicated that innovation should have an ecosystem, where it should allow ideas to grow and manifest into a product that would solve a problem. And then he even turns to say innovation is a team's show. And we have seen here that even young minds, not as old as I am, generating and creating things. We might be laughing around, but I think as the guest of honor indicated, he had an idea that needed to be nurtured. Otherwise, that idea just ended here. But as he went to South Africa, that's when he knew that I think some 10 years ago, I had a brilliant idea, which was just, graft. The keynote speaker talked about this innovation valley of death, where an innovation can die and can also grow. It all depends on how we can package them. It's talked about the usability. Is it usable? Feasibility, accessibility, and breaking down the silos. I think if this is what we can do, then I think we can do better. And I think this afternoon we have actually witnessed how, our younger minds can develop these mobile apps, lost but found. I like the idea. And I hope it will go further into finding some vehicles that are being stolen. And the Nyani, that's brilliant. I was really, when I looked in the program, I was like, Nyani for what? But I think that's really brilliant because it solves some educational kind of problems that most students, even mature students like myself, if I want to go back to school, would actually engage in too. Issues of smart farming, cash tracking. Fellow lecturers who are here, I was even thinking, can we really not borrow a leaf from that? Instead of the term cash tracking, can we have our own, account system, having that so that we can track where our document is, rather than just chasing files and files, and then they grow wings and then they fly away. It's really hectic. If we have brilliant minds like this, why don't you really, pick them up, incubate them, and change our system? Why not? This is what, great speakers have been talking about here. Not just ideas that we can laugh and then clap hands and say, wow, that's beautiful. What are we doing over there? Deepfake detection. I think as lecturers, we can also use that brilliant idea to detect fake essays. Nowadays, I'm telling you, I've liked the idea. Why don't we really grab this person to say, hey, we want to differentiate the real essay that someone else sat down and thought of it, or just some prompts into AI, come up with an essay, and someone else has asked me, these are the prompts, this, and this, and then boom, it's 2 pages. At least we need to have that, not necessarily, where are you? I need to meet you. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we can regenerate that and reinnovate that. The guards kind of like monitoring, I think it might not really just end on guards. I think we can go further to that. It's simply monitoring. He coined it as guard, but it's just monitoring. We need to also know where the president is at night, or and then this drone thing, I think it's so sensitive. When this gentleman was saying start, to me, I didn't really, I think that's why I didn't even listen. They're sensitive, so you need to be very careful. Start is like statistics. So when it got it start, it's like statistics. No, but start. So start with an R, start. See, that's when, so really need to be careful. Don't just start. No. But I like the idea. Yeah, you still, bringing in forth. I think there are quite a lot of ideas that we can leverage on. Anyway, without wasting much of your time today, the day was brilliant. The day was good, and clap hands for everyone else who was here, including myself. Yes, because they've made a day. And tomorrow we come again, similar at the same time, around 8:30 for the registration, 8:45 opening prayer, and then 8:50 to around 9:05, there's a certain presentation, managing partner, and then questions and answers. And then 9:15 to 10:30, there'll be a plenary. But then we have a kind of like a workshop, women only. Don't go there, men and boys, don't go there. Room 221 is reserved for women only. I can only go there to set up things and then see what they're doing, and then I'll move out. And then for everybody else, I think room 222, just nearby. Just you come and check, and there will also be a workshop of AI and sustainable development there, and also room 224 for entrepreneurship. And then I think there will be a plenary there, and then there'll be a health break, and then we'll come here. As others, I think, are there, others will still be here, but around 9:15, because there will be a mean kind of a conference where there are 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 4 papers to be presented. I think that will be our day. And then in the afternoon, I think there will be some presentations of the winners of the awards. I may now call upon our only Reverend Patrick Mbanga to close this with a prayer.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a long day, isn't it? Let us pray. Dear God, our Heavenly Father, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, as we wrap up day 1 of our Research and Innovation Week, we just want to thank you for being with us from beginning to the end of our program today. And we thank you for all the presenters in the morning who have ably made powerful presentations that will inspire innovation in this nation. We also thank you for the ideas presented by our students, and we hope and believe that they will go a long way in developing their ideas into realities so that they can be able to solve the challenges this nation is facing. Father, we give you all the honor and all the praise for the great time we have had today. In Jesus' name we pray as we retire to our respective homes. Amen.